I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. In just a few days, it will be Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. At any rate, there are several stories about evil, draconian, sadistic men around Christmas. One is the story of the Grinch that stole Christmas, and the other is Scrooge, who was also a draconian, sadistic person that marred or attempted to mar Christmas for people. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Let's say, for instance, you had someone working for you. They've been working for you for years, and things had gotten tough, or maybe there had been some issue where you want to lay them off or fire them. Would you, and the matter just came up, would you fire them 5 days before Christmas and send them home with no paycheck for toys and for celebration of Christmas? Or would you just wait until after the holidays, after Christmas, after New Year, somewhere in January when things kind of settle down and all the Christmas trees are thrown out, you would let them go then? But Christmas is a spirit of giving. It is a season of love. It's a season of everybody's giving, everybody's joyful. It's the most precious time of the year, Christmas is. It's the most beautiful time of the year. So acts like firing people or foreclosing people's homes during the Christmas season is draconian, is sadistic. So most people, even Scrooge and Grinch, most people would say, well, let's just wait till after Christmas. We're not that sadistic. We're not that much of a Nazi to spoil Christmas for people. Well, let me tell you what that Nazi, that sadistic terrorist, Robin Vance, has ordered his law firm, Philip the Little Liar, to do, is to foreclose, auction off our church on the 20th of December, 5 days before Christmas, to throw a school of elementary children and high school people in the streets 5 days before Christmas, to throw a homeless shelter of people living in a homeless shelter in the street 5 days before Christmas, to throw a breakfast program where children come from all over the world to eat breakfast here at our church in the mornings, to throw that breakfast program in the street 5 days before Christmas, to throw a church that would want to have its Christmas play, its Christmas singing, its Christmas music. That sadistic Nazi, Robin Vance, who is probably a sick psychopath, and I'm sure that he is. He's probably got Dracula's blood in his veins. Who would throw a church, a school, a homeless shelter, a breakfast program in the street 5 days before Christmas when you have the authority to wait till after Christmas, wait till January, unless you are a terrorist who get your jollies, who have your orgasms by terrorizing people, who reach your point of racial hatred by doing it in the most draconian way. No mercy. There's not blood running through that boy there, that Nazi terrorist, Robin Vance. He's a sick man. He's a sick man. And that Mellon Bank, anybody that works in that Mellon Bank, listen, if he'll do it to me, he'll do it. That is a sick Nazi right there, that man. He's a sick man. 5 days before Christmas, throw a school, a homeless shelter, a breakfast program, a church into the street. But let me tell you also what this sicko, the Mellon Bank is a, if you will, shady organization. That bank has been foreclosing, snatching properties. They've been in court from one end of America to the other for the illegal things, for the fraud. And I'm going to demonstrate that boy ATLAH from the Philip Little law firm, the Philip Liar Little law firm, that boy ATLAH that committed fraud and his filings and dealing with the lawyers that that ill-represented us. By the way, ATLAH, they need a new name. What's that name? ATLAH, sound like I'll get her. I'll get her before midnight. Hey, ATLAH, get yourself a new name, boy. Get yourself a new name. But listen, what they're looking to do, because they're running out of money and they got a wazoo full of lawsuits. I tell you, all you got to do is just Google the name Mellon Bank and lawsuits and fraud, and it will fill your inbox for the next 2 years. They've got so many lawsuits. I thought I was the only one. Lord have mercy. I'm a Johnny come lately. Everybody in their world has sued this fraudulent organization passing itself off as a bank. It ain't no doggone bank. It's a hijacking operation under the auspices of the federal. By the way, it is my intent to have the Mellon Bank lose their federal deposit insurance and their federal regulations to be able to borrow money or transfer securities and stocks. I'm going after that. Pastor Manning coming for. I'm going after that. And by the way, the history of their fraudulent activities you haven't seen of any organization that is that fraudulent. But what they want to do is say, well, I figure who cares about Christmas? They don't care anything about Christmas. Listen, I got a lawsuit working called religious persecution. And they just, when that ATLAH boy, scheduled the auction for the 20th of December, handed me the biggest gift I've ever given. Everybody ever gave me. Handed me a $50 million gift. And let me tell you why. My suit is one of religious persecution, that they are persecuting me because of my religious beliefs. New York State Constitution and the U.S. Constitution gives me the right to believe, to worship as my conscience does, and it cannot be abridged or impaired by someone who has a different point of view. Let me tell you how they handed me a $50 million gift, and that is this. For them to auction our church off 5 days for Christmas, the biggest religious holiday in the universe. The biggest religious holiday in the universe. And they want to persecute me 5 days before the biggest religious holiday in the universe. They just handed me a gift. They just handed the good Pastor Manning a gift. Right? You know what goes right there? Boom, shakalaka. And you'll never live this one down. 5 days, how stupid, how stupid can anybody be? 5 days before the biggest religious holiday. Talk about religious persecution. Oh, Lord have mercy. I got them. And got them but good.